get very far in the debate. No, I'm looking forward to debating the president, and I'm going to lay out
campaign rallies in March.
Now, what I talked about was not what had to be done. What I said, you got to take this seriously. You've got to insist that we have access to Wuhan. Insist that we have access in China to find out for ourselves. We had 44 people from CDC there. You cannot continue to talk about the president of China saying he's done a marvelous job. He's doing a great job. When it got up to March, I kept saying, look, you've got to invoke, and you remember, I think I was the first, I may be mistaken, person calling about the Defense Production Act. We don't have enough of the, it's amazing we use a phrase like PPE and the public knows what that is now, but protective equipment and gear and ventilators. Use that authority. Use it to go out there now and don't wait. And don't wait to talk about the need for us to have masks, and don't wait to talk about, that's what I talked about. And then I began to lay out for him, we actually had a conversation. I can't remember when it was, I think it was March, maybe it was April, in that range. And he said, if Biden wants to help, I want to talk to him. So I talked to him. I laid out what I thought should be done to be able to reopen safely and the things we should do. And he was very polite. He listened, and he said he'd think about it, and that was the end of it. And so what began to become really clear is that as the science began to show that this was able to spread much more easily than people thought, two issues. Was a pandemic coming, and how did it what's the way it did the most damage? And as that became clearer and clearer, we concluded that we just can't continue to have these large rallies. And, you know, think about it. Here we are, the rest of the world, the places that have done extremely well in terms of dealing with this COVID crisis around the world. You know, we have the 5 largest countries in Europe have a population larger than the United States of America. Yet we're, in the month of August, we're losing 1,000 lives a day, and they're losing 57 a day, combined. Combined, all of them combined. So I just don't, as we learn more, and we did learn more, and by March and April, we knew a whole heck of a lot more, why weren't we doing what needed to be done? Why are we being told that don't we have plenty of protective gear? And the one big thing that I did push a lot on, I wasn't the only one, was on the need for testing and tracing and moving rapidly to make sure that you had the capacity to test and trace before it got so out of control. We need to do that now. But here's the thing, and I'll end with this. I apologize for keeping you. No, well, yeah. The thing that I just don't quite understand is when it's clear that some of the things that the president says are simply not true relating to this crisis. And when enormous pressure is put on professionals in the administration, from the CDC to NIH, across the board, why do we think, God willing, when we get a vaccine that is good, works, why do we think the public's going to line up to be able to being willing to take the injection? We've lost so much confidence, the American people, in what's said. Because we're finding out, again today, plasma, well, that doesn't quite work the way we were told it was. Hell of a lot of pressure put on that person to say that. This president has said so many things that are untrue, that are just wrong. In order to do anything, he looks at it in one way. If the stock market is high and it's moving, and we're reducing the number of people who are in real trouble economically, then it doesn't matter what I say. That's the objective. That's the objective. The objective is to keep the American people safe so we can begin to get back to normal, rebuilding our economy and bringing back economic growth. Thank you all very much.